Let's talk about how to do, in this section, just our translations right or left. So right or left, that's horizontal stuff. So I'm going to write horizontal in here so you realize that. When I talk about horizontal, I'm talking right or left. So this is horizontal here as well. Ups and downs, we're talking vertical. And down here, there's a vertical. So we got two different types of translations, these are called. And I'm going to show you those things on the graph right here, if you'll take a look. So at the very top, I've got, and I'm going to change one of my sliders here to exactly 1. There we go. So, and I got a point off here to the side. I've got right now this function f of x, and I'll turn off the red one. You can see it. There he is. There's what function f of x looks like. You can see how he goes up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Our first job is to translate a graph left or right. So we're going to shift it right. Now, I've got two different values listed here. I've got h and k. And that h and k, they're actually affecting this equation, which should be higher here. See if I can move him up so you can see him just a little bit better when we're doing this. Turn him on, maybe that'll help. There we go. So there he is. Now you can see what my g is. So my g is my red line. And my red line is function f. And it's got an x minus h on the inside. So if I play with h, with this slider right down here, it's going to do one thing. And if I play with k, it's going to do another. Now, I happen to know because we want to do left and right translations, I want to play with the h. And watch what the h does. You'll see the graph. I'm going to make the h into a 2. 2, right there. And if you take a look at what that's done to my function, it looks like it has shifted it just right by 1. And why isn't it shifting it right by 2? Because that's a right shift by 1. Oh, no. Oh, it's because my k value. I got a k value right there right now. I need my k value 0. There we go. I was doing 2 shifts at once. I only want to have an h value that's a 2. My k value is 0. So basically what I've just graphed here, everybody, is there was the original parent function. Then I've added this to it, x minus, and I put a 2 in. And that 2 has caused that red function to go to the right. The red one and the green one are identical. When my h is 0, okay, when f of x is equal to g of x, I have no h or k value there. They're the same line. If I make an h value that's 2, all of a sudden it is now shifted right to the 2. You can see on the x-axis it's a 2. If h is a 3, or 4 here, 4 looks like I'm close to it, move 4, here's it's a 5. And so whatever that h value is right there, that's what shifts it. And so we say this, if I start with a f of x as a parent, and I want to change him into some other child, g of x, all I have to do to shift him left or right is put an h value inside the function. And we can see that h value is controlling his left-right shifts. It can look like an up-down, but because of my notation, I can see that my h is affecting my x, and x is a horizontal movement. So if h is 3, for example, or I've got it right now, h is 5, it's translated to the right 5. If h is 3, it's translated to the right 3. Watch what happens when I use negative x values. I'm going to have to slide that graph over here. So there I am, my h is 0, I'm right on top of it. If I put in an h is negative 1, it actually goes to the left. So an h value of negative 1 goes left. There we go. Now I'm left 2 because I'm at h is negative 2. Okay, so when I think of this going right 5 units, I say, hey, that's right 5, that's an h value of 5. Okay, now my notation I have to write is the following. I write g of x is f of x, and I'm going 5, so my h is 5, just like that. This is where some of us fall down, though. We're not finishing here. We got to finish strong. And we have to say, okay, that means go to function f and put this inside of it for the x. So if I'm looking up here, there's the function. In fact, I can do it right up here. and say, hey, what's the f of, and I'm putting in an x minus 5 for the x. Where am I putting it? In the actual function. That's 5. I'm replacing the x with x minus 5, and then going minus 2. And so there's my answer. Okay, now I'm actually going to do it down here, though, because that's where it should go in my workflow. It looked like x minus 5 and there minus 2. Okay, and I can actually see, hey, that thing is translated right to the 5, or translated right by 5 units. Now, we actually don't leave our answer in this form in this case. We can multiply, because it's parentheses here, 5 times x and 5 times 5, and minus 2. So there's our best, simplest answer. That's all we have to do every single time, is adjust it to slide it left or right with an h, and then we just have to put it into the parent function or into the original function to see what new equation pops out. Okay, so there's my answer for that one. I'm going to do number 2 now. Okay, so 2, all of a sudden we're doing vertical. Okay, translation up, vertical. Now that's a k value. I'm going to set my h to 0, so I'm right at where I started. And now here's my k slider at the bottom. This time I'm thinking up, down. Look at it go up 1, k is 1. Up 2, k is 2. Up 3. So let's look at that function right here. Where's that k value at? It's outside. It's not inside the parentheses, it's outside. So vertical translations always look like this. Again, f of x is our parent. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what parent it is. G of x, if I want to go up, I just have to take my original function and add some number to it. That's my k sticking out on the end of this thing. Okay, watch this thing. Here, I'm going to get rid of this, that one. I'm going to change it to the x squared function. I got to change my notation here. X squared was called j, function j, so I'm going to change this to function j there. And now I can see I'm translating function j with my k value. I can make it go up and down. And some people keep telling me, oh, it's getting skinnier, skinnier. No, it's the same size. There it is. The k value is -1. I'm 1 below. The k value is -2. I'm 2 below. So I just have to add or subtract a number. And it's the same size. It's just shifted down 1. And so here I go. I'm going to do it to number 2. Number 2 would look like this. My new function, g of x. My new function, g of x, is my old function, see, up 4 units. Just like that. And I don't have to do any math here, really. It just says put in f of x. Well, f of x is 3x plus 6. So this is now 3x plus 6. And then I got that plus 4 out there because of that k value that I've added to it, giving me a 3x plus 10. And that would be my answer for number 2. My new function is the old function moved up 10, so it is 3x plus 10. And you can see all we did was add a 4 to the function, and it moves it straight up. All right, let's look at the last 2 here. These will be quick and easy because now we don't have to explain it all. All we have to do is do what it says here. Let's see, 2 left, so that's inside. Remember, that's my h value in this equation. H moves it left and right horizontally. Okay, so I go, new function is my old function, but 2 left, so I have to have an h value of -2, which means x minus h is going to be f of x minus a -2, or the f of x plus 2, right? So I have to put the x plus 2 in there, and x plus 2 makes it go left. So now I go up to my function. There's my function. I can do my math right up there so you can see it. F of x plus 2 means put a x plus 2 into the function. So I'm right here at my x now, and I replace him with x plus 2. My function then says subtract 2 and end your absolute value. Okay, I'm going to do that math right below here. 3 minus x plus 2 minus 2. And then I simplify. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 3 minus absolute value of x. I don't put x plus 0. That'd be kind of silly to show the 0 in there. Alrighty, last one then, number 4 here. See, I'm going down, oops, I'm going down, so I'm going to have g of x equals f of x, and it's up, down, so that's a k value, 2 down, k is -2. Now I just rewrite my function, because that's what it says. It says g of x is my original function, so I make it 2x in absolute values plus 3. And then my transformation causes me to subtract 2 from it. And I simplify. 2x in the absolute values plus 1. And there's my answer for number 4. And we're done. Okay? Vertical and horizontal translations.